Well, there's Steve Arts89. Yes, this is a Henry Cavill Superman figure. No, I'm not a Snyder bro. I didn't totally like what he did with those films either. He just did a better job of the Superman character, which I will give him credit for. Whereas James Gunn just gets it all wrong. Now, speaking of James Gunn getting it all wrong, well, the projections are in, and it looks like the $250 million opening they were talking about a little while ago has gone down to a more, $100 million, what they're saying now. So we're getting a more conservative number now, and if this film makes $100 million opening weekend, it's not going to make the money it needs to make. And there is this idea that people like John Campea put forward that Warner Brothers is thinking long-term, long game, and they're saying Superman doesn't need to make money. It can lose money so long as it creates goodwill, and then our next 5 films, which are all going to be amazing, and just build up momentum, make money. So this is like the sacrificial lamb. Like, let's just get this out. People probably won't see it because of all the other DC films, but then there'll be good word of mouth. They'll watch it on, video or streaming, and then they'll come back for the next film, and that'll make money. Now, that's not a stupid idea, and if you are thinking in terms of long-term rebuilding a brand, that, might work. That could actually, work and be smart. But everyone has to be on board with that. The studio has to be on board. The executives have to be on board. The shareholders have to be on board. Everyone has to be on board, because if this film loses money, people are immediately going to panic and go, losing money, let's get rid of this guy. He doesn't work. Get someone else, because that's what they do in Hollywood. If something doesn't work, they don't think in terms of long-term and building a brand and what this means in the overall, scene. They're just going to go, didn't make money, blame this person, get a new person who's telling us that they can make us $1 billion, and we're just going to invest in that person now, which is what they basically have done with James Gunn. They threw out the Snyderverse, all of that. And the sad reality is, this film is probably going to make about as much money as Man of Steel 2 would have if they just kept Henry Cavill and done the next film like they promised and finished off that sort of little universe. They would have been better off, I think, or they wouldn't have been any worse off, that's for sure. And all the extra money, because actually they probably would have been, because it would have cost less money to do that film than it is to develop this whole new Superman film and try and promote it as this beginning of the DC and everything. So it's looking bad. They need that. The film has cost, they're saying, over $200 million plus 200 advertising, so that's 400 plus million. So that means it's got to make over $1 billion just to break even. There were calculations that I did a video about. I can't remember. I think it was 1.2 or something like that. 1.1 billion I think it has to make just to break even. And it's looking like it's going to be more of a $600, $700, $800 film if they're lucky. Million film if they're lucky. Which is around where I think Man of Steel was. I think it was 600 or 700 million, the first one. So yeah, not looking good. And these projections, different people are making their projections, and there are different reports on it. So I'm not going to go through and quote numbers, because they're a little, they're also changing. And we're only a week away anyway. So we've got an idea of where it started and where it's going, and now it's just a matter of seeing how it actually turns out, because there could be a lot of people who just show up on the day that save it. There could be a lot of people who don't show up on the day, and it could be less. So, these things are not an exact science. I mean, the pre-sales are one thing, but the estimates based on those is a whole other thing. So, yeah. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. This is, I think this is one of the Chinese ones. I ordered it thinking it was an actual, so I'm holding up a different Superman each video, because I have a bunch of them and I just want to give them all a little moment in the videos, because most of them only got their unboxing and that's it. But is it Fanjoy? I think that's the name of the company. Because I thought it was a knockoff of the McFarlane Superman Henry Cavill figure, and I bought it thinking it was a knockoff, and they'd just done a material cape instead of plastic cape, which I thought, well, I'd rather have that even though it was a knockoff. And then I realised it was actually totally a different body and everything, and it's by a different brand, and they've got a whole line of them. They've got Batman and that from the Batfleck and everything. So yeah, I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the latest Superman dramas. and the projections and how much money you think it's going to make.